tariff column, and it's about $88 billion that they've never seen before, and that's nothing compared to what it's going to be.
You've got other tariffs coming down the pipe here.
I have a lot of them, yeah.
What's the timing on those things like lumber, copper, pharmaceutical drugs?
Yeah, we're going to be doing pharmaceuticals very soon. That's going to bring all the companies back into America.
All of them, or focusing on?
It's going to bring most of them back in, at least partially back in. You know, they left us because we had presidents that didn't know what the hell they were doing. We should have never lost our car business. We lost 52% of our car business over the years. Should have never lost it. All they had to do is say, if you make a car, you're going to leave us, you're going to make a car, you're going to pay a 25-30% tariff, and they would have never left. Nobody said that to anybody until I came along.
Homeland Security is saying that ICE is going to start enforcing in hotels and farms again. Is that a change of course from last week?
We're going to look everywhere, but I think the biggest problem is the inner cities. We're looking everywhere. Look, what they let into this country, what Biden let in, or allowed to, I don't think he knew what the hell he was doing, frankly, but whoever worked for him, what they let into this country, we're never going to forget it. They let prisoners in, they let gang members in, drug dealers in, the mentally insane into our country. No, we're going to get them out. There are far more in the inner cities, Democrat-run cities. Sadly, I mean, I'm just giving you. There's far more in there than you have on a farm someplace.
So no one's getting exemptions anymore. Everyone is.
Well, everyone's being looked at, but the bigger problem is the cities right now. That's where that tends to be where the really bad ones are. The murderers. You know, they've let in 11,888 murderers. People that killed people. Biden allowed that to happen. So the Democrats allowed it to happen. Biden didn't know he was even around.
Question on your Senate confirmations. With all the military actions, there are only 3 of your 6 sub-cabinet members at the Defense Department.
I'd like to see the nominations go faster. The Democrats hold up our nominations.
Are you going to talk to Senator
Yeah, I will.
about that?
John Thune's doing a very good job. You know, I've got a lot of people in, but he's doing a very good job. The Democrats, if we had George Washington up for approval, the Democrats would take maximum time, every hour, every minute, to delay him as long as possible. If we had a combination of Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, they would go max. It's called max time.
Mr. President, you've always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon. But how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having one.
I got us one on. You were at this beautiful scene for the meeting, and you said a lot about acquiring Canada as a state. Did anybody talk to you about that? And where
I think it's a much better deal from Canada, but you know, it's up to them. They're going to have to pay a lot of tariffs and things. They're going to have to pay a lot of money for the dome, for the Iron Dome. They want to be a part of it.
Did you talk
We
about
may
that?
make a separate deal on that, by the way. We discussed that, yeah, with the dome. That may be a separate deal. They want to be at $71 billion. They're going to pay.
There could be a dome thing separate from the tariff.
They'll be in the dome. Yeah, they'll be under the dome.
And were you open to negotiating with the Iranians right now, or do you want to wait?
I don't know. I've been negotiating. I told them to do the deal. They should have done the deal. Their cities have been blown to pieces. They've lost a lot of people. They should have done the deal. I told them, do the deal. So I don't know. I'm not too much in a mood to negotiate now.
Do you think you'll be in the Situation Room tomorrow at any point?
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, girl. While you're sleeping. Goodbye, everybody.
Why did you tell people to evacuate Tehran? You know, you posted evacuate.
Yeah, I think it's safer. There's a lot of bad things happening there. No, I think it's safer for them to evacuate.
On Minnesota, there were a lot of horrific details that came out today about the suspect who's been charged there. Have you called the governor yet or been able to speak to any of them?
I don't really call him. He appointed this guy to a position. I think the governor of Minnesota is so whacked out. I'm not calling him. Why would I call him? I could call him and say, hi, how you doing? The guy doesn't have a clue. He's a mess. So, you know, I could be nice and call him, but why waste time?
On the big, beautiful bill, sir, can you talk about what the Senate...
We're doing well with the big...
How's it looking in the Senate?
The great, big, beautiful bill, right?
Are you okay with their changes?
I hear so far it's going well.
Are you going to stand?
Look, if it doesn't get approved, 68% tax increase, and I think the Democrats would have to, they'd be, because we won't get Democrat support. Think of it. We're giving the biggest tax cut in history. Instead, you have the biggest tax increase in history. 68%.
Are you going to extend the TikTok deadline again?
Probably, yeah. Probably have to get China approval. I think we'll get
You
it.
have the legal basis.
I think President Xi will ultimately approve it.
And you have the legal basis to do that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we do.
Two more on Iran. Is there any sign that North Korea is getting more involved in helping Iran, or is Russia getting more involved with
I
military?
haven't seen it. No. I don't think anybody wants to get involved. It's a mess.
What about American citizens, U.S. citizens who are trying to leave the area with the airport shut down, Ben Gurion shut
We're
down?
doing the best we can with it. We're working on that. We're doing the best we can. Thank you, everybody, very
Thanks,
much.
sir.
Have a good time.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thanks, Caroline.
Caroline.
صدر ڈونلڈ ٹرمپ کینیڈا سے واپس امریکہ پہنچ گئے ہیں. انہوں نے کہا کہ ایران میں جنگ بندی سے بہتر کی تلاش میں ہوں, ایران میں تنازع کے حقیقی خاتمے کی تلاش میں ہوں. اس وقت میں ایران کے ساتھ بات چیت کرنے کے موڈ میں نہیں ہوں. امریکی صدر ڈونلڈ ٹرمپ کینیڈا سے واشنگٹن جاتے ہوئے طیارے میں گفتگو کر رہے تھے. امریکی صحافی نے کہا کہ ٹرمپ ایرانی جوہری مسئلے کا واقعی خاتمہ چاہتے ہیں. امریکی صدر نے پیش گوئی کی کہ اسرائیل ایران پر حملوں کی شدت میں کمی نہیں چاہ رہا. صدر ڈونلڈ ٹرمپ کینیڈا سے واپس امریکہ پہنچ گئے ہیں اور انہوں نے طیارے میں یہ گفتگو کی ہے. انہوں نے کہا کہ ایران اسرائیل تنازع کے حقیقی تلاش میں ہوں. اس وقت ایران سے بات چیت کے موڈ میں نہیں ہوں. تہران سے شہریوں کے انخلا کی تنبیہ ان کے تحفظ کے لیے کی ہے. صدر ڈونلڈ ٹرمپ نے طیارے میں گفتگو کی ہے. انہوں نے کہا کہ ایران اسرائیل تنازع کی حقیقی تلاش میں ہوں. اس وقت ایران سے بات چیت کے موڈ میں نہیں ہوں. انہوں نے ساتھ یہ بھی کہا کہ ایران میں جنگ بندی سے بہتر کی تلاش میں ہوں. ایران میں تنازع کے حقیقی خاتمے کی تلاش میں ہوں. اس وقت ایران کے ساتھ بات چیت کرنے کے موڈ میں نہیں ہوں. امریکی صدر ٹرمپ نے کینیڈا سے واشنگٹن جاتے ہوئے طیارے میں گفتگو کی ہے.